Hi, Sean here from violinstringreview.com. So I usually do reviews of strings specifically and every so often branch off. And I'm going to branch off today in rosin. So I'm going to talk about the Bespoke Leatherwood Rosin Company. So this company is in Australia and they specialize in rosin. They don't do strings with rosin on the side. It is mainly just rosin. And the big thing with them is that they will personalize rosin for you. So they have a couple blends. I've got two here for the violin. They've got the Supple blend and the Crisp, and they're both for violin. Supple is a little bit grippier. Now, I first tested this one out. I tested it on my bow as well as a couple brand new ones, and I will say that I do really like it. Now, the reason why I checked this out first, though, is because they make that personalized rosin, but also the cost of it. And I'll talk about that in a little bit. But I really did like the rosin. The big thing with this is just how I consider sound on the violin and how I consider how the rosin affects it. There's two main things that I think about with the bow. There's the initial snap and then the pull of the string. And a lot of times I felt like I was trying to find a balance where if I had more grip, I would get a little bit more snap, but a lot more grit in that pull. And if I had something a little bit lighter, there'd be less of that snap and a little bit cleaner sound, but it was always fighting to figure out where that balance was. And this felt very balanced. It felt like, I didn't worry about putting too much or too little on, that I was able to just get a nice, even sound throughout. Now, when I had a couple of my students check it out, a lot of them said they did like the sound, but the hard thing is having that really trained ear to hear that difference. I remember it took me probably about 5 or 6 years till I tried a rosin and really could feel like that rosin was different. It gave my violin a different sound. So the big thing with this, though, is the cost that I talked about a little bit ago, that the cost of this rosin in US dollars is about 65, I believe it's 88 Australian. And that's a lot more than a lot of rosins out there. And that's what really wanted me to check this out. Is it worth that money? And I think that's what a lot of people who have already seen this or are interested are really concerned about. I did get these as a sample, so I was able to try them out for free. I don't want that to feel like it skewed my view of it because I'm going to be using this later on. This is replacing the rosin I'm currently using because it really, I do like the sound. It's really clean. It works for me. I wrote Andrew from the company and to ask about the price because I told him I really did like it, but that's the hardest thing to get through. And there's a couple things I wrote back. The first thing is that they will personalize rosin for you. So you can have a Skype meeting and talk about your sound, talk about what issues are, and they will blend a personalized blend of rosin just for you. That's hopefully will help and fix issues that you might be having. And if you don't like the rosin, you can actually return it for a really heavily discounted price. Now, that's one reason. Another reason is just the product that's used for it, the wood that's used for it, the trees that the resin's from. I think we're used to these big bulk companies making rosin, so the fact that it's a smaller company making personalized rosin, the price is going to be a little bit more. And for what we pay for other things with strings and the thousands of dollars in instruments, that the cost of rosin that should last a few years as long as you're not dropping it, compared to other rosins out there, yes, it's a lot more. Compared to what other things on the violin, for something that affects the sound so much, it's not as big of a leap. Would I recommend this to a starting student? Probably not, because it took me years till I was able to tell the difference between one rosin and another, the sound it made. But if you've been playing a while and you have a really discerning ear and you really can tell the difference between one rosin and another and you're trying to find what works best, this could be perfect. So I'm going to put a link in the description to violinstringreview.com where you can see a little bit larger review. And I'm also going to put a link to their website. And feel free to check that out, ask questions to Andrew. This is as much as I know about it, so he would be the person to talk to about that. But I do recommend this. It's a bit more than what we're used to for cost of rosin, but definitely worth it. Thank you very much. Please leave your thoughts in the comment section below. Hit like and subscribe for more content like this in the future. And you can stop by violinstringreview.com for more news and reviews.